Welcome to the Power Couples Rock podcast, where our mission is to build a collective community of marriages, where we encourage, inspire, and support one another in order to have masterful marriages. We're Carlos, Catherine, Chris, and Sonia. Please check us out, powercouplesrock.com. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. We believe that one of the most amazing legacies we can leave in life is a great marriage. So we hope you'll listen, learn, and love the conversation. Let's power up.
Good day, Power Couples. This is Carlos and Catherine Green of Power Couples Rock.
Hey, what's up, Power Couples?
Hey, we hope that you guys are really enjoying the podcast and listening to all of the episodes, but this is one for the ages. I cannot wait until you guys hear this dynamic couple that we've been connected to. They are newly married.
Oh, yes.
But they've got such a story, right?
They do.
When you think about newlyweds or think about getting married, you think about, all the bells and the white dress and all of those beautiful things that make up a wedding. Mm-hmm. But what I love about this couple is that they were preparing for the marriage.
Oh, yeah. They did the work before
They did the work before it, right? And so I just know that their marriage is going to be blessed. And I think you guys will be blessed by listening to this amazing couple. Mm-hmm. Are you ready to introduce them?
I'm ready.
Are you wait for it? Are you ready for it?
You go for it.
So Power Couples Rock community, please give a warm welcome to Barry and Sheba Daniel. Say what's up to the Power Couples community, people.
Hello.
Hey, Power Couples. Hey, glad to be here.
Yes. So I tell you, Barry and Sheba Daniel did the work as newlyweds, but just preparing for their marriage. So we want to actually step into their story. Mm-hmm. And you'll understand as you listen to the story more and more why this couple is so special. So what we want to do is to get you guys introduced to the Power Couple Rock community. So why don't you guys tell us how you all met and then when you guys got married?
Okay. We actually met prior to a relationship, before we were into a relationship. We knew I had a friend and family members, and Barry also had a friend that knew each other. So we basically knew each other, but there was no connection. We kind of just knew friends. Each other and was acquainted. And then it was, 11 to 12 years later that we actually reconnected back. Okay. And then that's when we kind of ran into each other, and he kind of always thought, well, I always kind of had my eye on you. And I'm like, really? What? So that way, and then we connected back as far as just casually being friends. We were actually really just started out being friends, and I think at the when we became friends, we were like, wow, we do have a lot of things in common. And it was basically, we kind of had as far as family, he was kind of more of the leader in his family that took care of everyone, took care of things, made family gatherings. And I was kind of the same way too. Oh, okay. That I was one that always brought the family together. We, made sure that every Sunday we met at mom's and we cooked and all that. So we always kind of connected on that. And for as our kids, trying to establish relationship with our kids as adults, because our kids are now adults because we were much older. Yes. As wasn't we were starting a family. Both of us had families. Okay. And then in that way we just kind of our friendship just kind of evolved and turned into where we was a couple. We struggled with that because he was, in his moment of he's finding himself and I'm like, I'm done with, having a real serious relationship. So we was just like, we'll be friends. And of course, it evolved, and here we are today. Like totally, sometimes we're solely surprised that we're married. Like, how did we get there? You know, but it took a lot of work to get there. Yeah, a lot of work. You know,
but you guys put in the work.
Yes, we did. We did.
And I love that. Barry, what do you want to add to that story?
I just want to add that she was very patient with me. Understanding, meet me right where I was, and her love that and her attention that she gave me. It was just because I never let a woman in my heart, and at that age, I was like, hey, let her in, and she won me over.
I like the fact that you guys talked about, just establishing a friendship, because oftentimes when you go in just trying to already have a relationship, just as I like him, he likes me, then the power struggle begins. But you guys allowed the friendship to come in, and I think being friends first, it kind of helps to develop a relationship.
Yes, because it kind of clears away of the, are you seeing someone, or do you talk to other people? We didn't even discuss any of that. That was never on the table. It was just us casually and truly being friends, and talked about and dealt with everything else except the outside stuff of who do you talk to? How you have a friend? Or it wasn't even that. We just basically was really, truly friends.
Yeah, it takes the pressure off.
Yes.
There's two things that you all said. So Sheba, you were like, well, I'm not going to get in a serious relationship. I with things that I've struggled with in the past with other relationships, I'm not ready for that. And then Barry said, well, I just didn't want to let anybody in at this point. And so I could just see where you guys are like, okay, we're not in it to date each other. We're just friends and kind of walking through that. And you said Sheba was patient with you as well to kind of walk through that. When did it break that you guys said, you know what, I think this may work?
For me, it was after much soul searching, and I'm getting older. We have a nice bond. We equally yoked. We kind of going in the same direction. We work good together. We have fun, and I just fell in love with her from that point. And that point was like, this is the one. I actually took some advice from a friend. Said write down the likes and the dislikes about her, and the likes like overpowered the dislikes. And from there, I was just like, yeah, she's the one. And I was at peace about, making that decision.
You were. Because this is both of you all's first marriage.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You've never been married at all. But you had talked about that you guys have two boys?
Yes, I have two sons. Adult sons.
And then you have two sons and a daughter.
Right.
Right. And so how was that? Because you guys are much older, not much older because you guys are younger than us, much younger than us. But what I love about it is the maturity that you guys are bringing into the relationship, and you're bringing some experiences in so you don't have to deal with a lot of the drama that maybe some newlyweds have to deal with. How did you guys blend your families together?
I think with me, with my boys, it was more, they knew the way I function as far as with a man, that if he meant anything to me, or if he felt, they knew that if I exposed them to this guy, then he might be okay. But they still was kind of standoffish about, okay, is this someone that she's around, or is this just a friend? And then I think what they saw was that Barry took effort to acknowledge them, to respect them, and respect me. And they saw that, oh, this is a good guy. I really like him, and that he's good for my mom. And blending them together was basically letting them know, regardless, this is our relationship. just like they're adults and they have their relationships, that they're only going to step in so much and not come in and be like, oh, I don't like him. He's not good for you. And they didn't see any of that. So they thought, well, this might be something good. So on my side, as far as my boys, blending them with Barry. And then eventually his kids, they started visiting or coming around, or we having cookouts or gathering. And then they kind of like just met each other and like talked and had things in common as young kids. And then they kind of like formed their own little bond. Not as us bonding all together, but they formed their little relationship. Good. And then what it made us look at, oh, okay, they're all getting along. So then we all just started getting along, So it kind of like where it just, like you said, blended really from them forming their own little relationships. Wow. And then us being together, and then we just being able to flow with them. So really and truly, it wasn't where we brought them together. It's kind of they brought us all together.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's so good.
That is awesome.
Yeah. I think the grandkids played a big part in it.
Okay.
I think that's where it really started at. Sheba and I both are really, really well with kids, and we always go the extra mile with kids. And from there, it grew to their parents. And then it grew from, hey, let's have dinner. Let's cook out. Let's celebrate this birthday. Maybe the kids are saying, hey, I'm going to go buy a TV for one of the grandkids. I'm automatically going to come out of my pocket and say, if it's $100, I might get $50 on this for me and Sheba.
Grandkids will do that, right?
Oh, yeah. They'll make you just give everything.
So awesome.
So I think the grandkids played a really, really big part for us to come as strong as we are today.
Oh, good.
How many grandkids do you guys have?
Total?
Uh-huh.
Well,
they're thinking about it.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, they got to think about it. Sometimes I hear grandparents usually have to do that.
The good thing about it is we have a ready-made family. We're not having any more kids. We're going to get in these grandkids' life and go to these games and cheer them on and be the best grandparents we can be out there.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
I'd like to talk about, I'm so grateful for the blended family because in today's world, there's a lot of blended families, and I think the percentage is really high. It's over 40% maybe families are now just blended. And so it's always good that they can blend well. And, but one of the things I wanted to talk about, a lot of couples, they do a lot to prepare for, the wedding day, but you guys did some things to prepare for just your marriage. I want you to talk to us a little bit about what that was like, so that our community can know, what preparation for marriage looks like.
I think it takes both of you to be willing to work on it and talk about it. I wasn't a big communicator, and Sheba definitely wasn't a big communicator, but in preparing to get to that final day, it was a lot of deep talk. I shared a lot that I probably wouldn't have normally shared. She did the same. It was a lot of disagreements, but we worked through that. We talked through it. But it started with both of us willing to, hey, let's work on this. And that's where it really all started, from marriage counsel to finance counsel to, getting other ideas on what marriage looks like, and then taking those different ideas from other couples and bringing it to our household from what we needed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And there's some spirit. Oh, go ahead, Sheba. You were going to say.
For me, I think preparing was really just putting everything out there as far as accepting how we're going to accept each other, accept your family, accept my family, how we're going to make sure that a lot of stuff that you used to do, I used to do, that it comes now that it's us talking about it, then versus, okay, this is what I normally do, and this is what you normally do. We now have to do it together as one. Mm-hmm. So I think it was making sure that we were going to be okay with that. as we prepare to become one, that can we bring both of these dynamics of each side of us together, and we're going to be able to accept it, and it's not going to tear us apart. So that if it's like something you don't agree that I'm going to do, and you're going to do something that I don't agree on, we're going to have to learn to know that we got to work through that. Mm-hmm. And then versus that we're just now, we do it because it's no more I's. See, we lived as an I. Mm-hmm. We lived as I's because we weren't married. And now it's us. We have a bond now, and everything we do now, we have to work it out together. Mm. And then versus me saying, this is what you do, it's yours, that's your mama, that's your sister, that's your daddy, that's that. It's none of that. That's not not your son, just your son. If it's something going on with us, we know now we have to work it out together. And to be able to accept that, you got to think about it, because, you know, you can easily walk away from something and just say, I don't have to deal with it. Now we got to deal with it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I feel like that was really a strong point for me to make sure that I was ready for that.
For the we,
for the we, yes, for the I. Mm-hmm. And now we're we's, and it's you know, and it's good. It's good because now you feel like you're a part of it. Then versus you just standing back and I'm letting him deal with this. Mm. We're dealing with things now. So I think preparing for that was my biggest, you know, where I had to really sit down and think about it.
How important was your faith journey in your marriage? Where did that rank with you guys?
It played a major part. That was the foundation of it all. We started going to church together. At times we would go to Bible study. At times, you know, we would pray before we leave and just try to set the atmosphere at the house. We would put the TV on YouTube and let gospel just play all through the house as we getting ready to go to work, and just try to just bring a new energy into the home, into our house, into our day. It's always a kiss before she leave. I love you. Have a good day. You know, and we actually do that every day. Every day. Okay. Now, listen to the music and all that and praying before we leave. We don't do that every day. It's not like a routine, but it's in our marriage. Mm-hmm. It's times when I'll say, "Hey, baby, let's pray before we leave." Mm-hmm. And then it's times that, you know, I'm trying to push her to, like, sometime you initiate it. Because sometimes I'm going to be weak and you're going to be strong. Mm-hmm. So hoping if she see me weak, maybe she'll be like, hey, let's pray. Mm-hmm. Let's pray before we go. Yeah. Let's pray before we do this.
But you're leading that out. You're showing an example for that. And some men are a little either intimidated or a little scared to open themselves up and pray for their family, for each other, for their marriage. And I think that plays a major role in the strengthening of your marriage when a man can take the lead in that space. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
I'm a firm believer life just really makes no sense without God. Mm. And if God is the head of our marriage, no matter what comes against us, we're going to get through it and we're going to win.
And I think that's what got us here too.
Really?
I think that's what got us together as making that step, get married. Because it's like, why are we're doing all this, praying in church together, doing all this, but where are we at? Mm. We're still not there. Mm. We're still not living the way we want to be, where we're supposed to be living. And so it's like, we're doing all these things about faith, God, believing in Him, but we're still living together. We're still just dating or whatever you want to call it. And it's like, so where are we at? Mm-hmm. So I think that played a big part too in as us coming together as older, you know, in the age that we are.
Right.
Is having that faith and believing in God that this is this is how we're supposed to be.
So what was the turning point? Go ahead.
I think once you get to that state, what she's talking about, once you get in line with God and try to get in tune, you're on your way to success.
Because you
want peace, happiness, joy, all that. So it has to line up with Him.
I love what you said. I want to make sure that our listeners heard the line that you said that I thought was so powerful. You said, life makes no sense without God. When was the turning point for you all then? Because you're like, well, we're kind of going to church. We're doing this. We're praying, but we're not living the way that we want to be living. What was the turning point for you all then?
The turning point was, hey, she's kind of telling me that I'm going in prayer in my own way. And when you say that, the Bible talks to us about being hearers of the word, not doers of the word. Mm-hmm. So we got to hear the word. And when you hear the word, you got to live the word, do the word. So us being dating, living in the same house, not married, that's not really representing the kingdom. Mm-hmm. That's not representing what the Bible tells us to do and teaches us how to live. That's not doing that. So every day we're just striving to live a good, balanced, Christ-like life.
Mm-hmm. Those should be examples for your children.
Exactly.
And so what is it parents used to tell you? Something about
don't do as I say. No, don't do as I do. Do as I say.
Yeah.
And that's what we were talking about this morning when I was telling him. I said, Barry, this right here, we by us being married and not just doing the norm that most people will do. I said, it's not only that, it's giving our kids an outlook to say, well, you know what? My mom, my dad, they got married and they making it work. It's not all that bad. It's not, this is, hopefully this will roll off on them and they will feel like, hey, we can, if they can do it, I know we can do it. Mm-hmm. And even not only just our children, it was family and friends. They was like, wow, man, we admire y'all for this. This give us, some hope, and it really encourages us. It makes me feel like this is the right thing to do. And we want to do this. And we were like, really? And they was like, yeah, and it made us feel good because now we're doing something that, if it's not in our family or someone, we have a family, you have those families like, oh, they the first to ever get married in the family. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's something uncommon.
Yes.
It's something uncommon in some families.
It is.
That they don't see that.
Yeah.
And they don't see the longevity of marriage and all of that, or the importance of it.
Yeah.
So what's the difference now? Because you guys have been married for a few months now.
Yeah.
What's the difference between being married now and pre-marriage in your relationship? What's that difference?
Definitely the mindset.
Really?
Absolutely.
Talk to it.
The mindset is everything is my wife first. It's not about you no more, Barry. It's about your wife, your marriage. Make sure she's all the way completely straight. Now, when my friends ask me something now, my response is, let me check with my wife first. Because normally when we was dating, it was just like, I'll just make the decision.
Yeah.
Baby, are you going to be off? This is what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this? Do you want to do this? So it's definitely, for me, it's definitely a mindset, a mind change.
Because it's a
and
permanence
it's team,
now,
though.
right?
It's team. It's no more me. It's no more I. The more we get together and work on projects as a team, I'm looking back, the stronger we're becoming.
Yeah.
What about for you, Sheba?
It gives me hope. I feel like I've gotten more hope in me because I'm like looking forward to future things then versus is, will this be the end this year? We ain't going to be together. It's stuff like that. It gives you that hope that there's a future there. There's the longevity, thinking about things from years down the road to, graduations for our grandkids, us being there, us taking trips. It gives you that thing that, there's something that you can look forward to now. Then versus that, is it tomorrow or next week, 2 weeks down the road? It's like, hey, we're married. We're working on our future. what we're going to have down the road than what we're going to have to next week. You know, that's behind us now.
Yes.
So I feel like just being, and not only that too, it's just, you know, you think more about us than versus what I'm going to do or what I end up being 2 years or down the road by myself or whatever. That's gone now. You know,
there's not that insecurity that you live with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
How do you, and I often talk, this question comes to mind because many people who are married for many, many years, especially women, how do you not lose who you are in the we?
Me, I'm going to always stay. I think Barry knows that even when we talk about things that, you know, let's do this, or we're going to think about starting this, I still feel like that I still have my voice.
Yes.
I'm going to always voice, you know, I'm going to always support you, but I'm going to have my voice. And I think long as I keep my voice, then I'm not going to lose me.
Yes.
As long as I can keep my voice.
Yes.
And I can have my feelings and I can put everything out there and make sure that you know where I'm at and where I make sure I'm comfortable with things. Then versus that I'm just going to ride your back because now I'm your wife and you're the head and I'm supposed to follow through. I got to have a voice in this.
Yes.
So
I totally
as long as I don't
you.
lose that, I feel like I'm okay.
Good. I totally agree with you because as you were talking, I was thinking about a team, like a basketball. You talked about team, and I was thinking about a basketball team. Even though we work as a team or they work as a team, each one of them brings some skills to the table.
Exactly.
You got a power forward. You got, you know, I don't know all the point guards. Right. Those people on the perimeter.
Right. Yeah.
But they gotta know their skills. I mean, I know Steph Curry knows where he can do those 3-point shots from all angles of the perimeter. And so he knows that, and they know when they're down to the crunch who they can pass. But he never, even though he's a part of the team, he didn't give up his skills and who he is. Right. And so I love that you use the team title and experience because that's what continues to keep a marriage alive. So
yeah, it does, because when we were married, I think I was less vocal because I didn't feel like I needed to be more vocal because it's not my show, you know. So now I think I kind of put a little bit more into us.
I saw him over there shaking his head. Like when you said I'm more vocal.
I contribute to more things now and make an effort to put into, you know, it was, you know, like his business, you know.
Our business.
No, but at one point I saw it as your business.
Oh, right.
But now I see that we're together, I feel like, okay, this is just not his anymore. It's ours, and I now need to contribute to it. Yeah. So I do put more into it now. At first, it was like I just always just heard the talk. This what was going on. And he would come to me, what do I need to do, you think? And I would be like, you know, whatever you feel like you think you need to do. And now it's with his business. He comes to me. Business. You know what I'm saying? I know.
That language.
And now when we talk about it, we're talking about, I put more into it as far as what I think needs to happen with it and giving him more feedback on things and being more.
Making sure the checks come in. She do that.
Making sure that check come in, right? You got to get that bread.
I think, you know, I'm more, like you said, more of a team player with it now.
Well, so, I remember us talking with you guys at one point and going back to that specific situation. Like you guys were invited to family functions and you had to invite each other to come. I think at Sheba at one point you said, well, I'm the girlfriend, so I don't have any I really don't feel like I have a lot of say so because I'm not the wife.
Right.
I'm the girlfriend.
Right.
And so now you're the wife. That actually automatically puts you at the table in the conversation because you're tied to Barry. You guys are one flesh at this point, right? And I remember, Barry, you saying something about that too. So well, I have Sheba here, and I really want her to be my wife, but she was my girlfriend at that time.
Right.
Right? Right. So how does that make you feel now?
Much better, because now when we go to an event or we go to any functions, we walk in and everybody knows that's Barry's wife.
Yeah.
Then versus I'm the girlfriend.
Uh-huh.
But who is she?
Yes. No, I'm not just a city girl anymore. You know, that girl from Nashville. You know.
Yes. That's it.
You can walk in with your back straight now.
Yeah.
What has been some of, to you, Barry, some adjustments you've had to make since you've been married?
Some of the adjustments is just, one of my hardest adjustments is probably addressing some of the issues and sticking to it. See, I'm a people's person, and I like for everybody to be happy and get along. But we're not going to grow if we don't keep talking it out. Whether we disagree, wherever the tone is, if the tone gets a different kind of way, I kind of step back. But I'm trying to just stick with it to make her talk, make me keep talking, and we work it out, because that's how we grow. And I'm trying to share with her that if we just both just keep talking about it for a little bit and let it go, we're not dealing with it, and we're not growing. And I think it's healthy for all couples to just work it out. If you got to go back and forth, work it out. Take a break, pick it back up, work it out. You got to come to a happy medium. Mm-hmm. So, and I always try to encourage her to stay on me too. Stay on me. Stay on my back. If it's something that's
not nagging, just to make sure that you're held accountable.
Absolutely. Okay. And we both have the character just to kind of just let it go by. I'm gonna work with this, and I'm gonna turn the cheek on this one. But that's not really good. And I think if we both just stay on each other and keep pushing, knowing that, hey, it's for the betterment of our marriage, it's all gonna work out.
It seems like if you have an end goal, you know that everything you do is to make each other win.
Right.
And whatever that is, I'm going to go back to my basketball analogy, even though I don't know all the positions on the court. I do know there's 5 players on there. Yeah, okay.
Hey, just give me at the end of whatever we going through, baby. Give me the ball. I want to shoot that 3. Give me the ball. We done talked this out. We done worked. Give me the ball. I promise you, I'm gonna nail this shot. Yeah.
I gotta have that real deep trust that when I give him that ball, he's gonna get them 3 points for me.
Wow. For us, baby.
Still working on the language.
That's just the part of a marriage is always a work in progress.
Yes.
And we always have to be conscious of that. It's no more I, it's no more me, it's we, team, family, unity, love. Come on, let's fight.
Yeah.
How does your family view you all now that you guys have been married a few months? Is there any difference in the way that they treat you or see you, or what do you guys perceive with your family?
I think I receive a lot of more respect now because I got boundaries now.
Boundaries. Talk about your boundaries.
They know that I'm gonna say, let me talk to my wife first, or let me talk to Sheba. I need to get back with you on that.
But when you, that's interesting. I love that you say that, because early on in our marriage, that's what we did. And I think you have to be very careful when you go back and say no, because then they'll say, it's only because Sheba.
Exactly.
Right. So how do you present?
She gets very, very on the defensive about that.
Okay.
There's a skill to when you present something back, I believe. Carlos may could talk a little bit more about that, presenting that, that skill you have to present so it doesn't look like when I walk into the family reunions and when I walk into the Thanksgiving that they're like, it's because Catherine said no. Otherwise, he would have gave us that.
I just say I'll go back if they ask me for anything. I'll just say, well, let me consider it, and I'll get back to you on it. And I know that I'm going to go and present it to you at that point, and then we can talk about it, and then I can come back to him and just say, well, just at this time, it's probably not the best time for me to actually participate or support that. Or it may be, oh yeah, I can give you that and it's yours, you just keep it. But I just want to be transparent with you about anything that we have to do regarding our family and friends, especially if they need assistance in some area.
Yeah, it's a united front. And I see that what you're doing, that is considered a united front. It's a little awkward for people sometimes, but I think the more we do that, the more it shows that we're considerate of our spouses. We value what they say. We value their input because, God wants us to discuss, so that sometimes I say things that he didn't think about, and sometimes he says things that I didn't think about, and then we can put it together and present it as a total package. And so I think that's so important, and that people don't confuse that though with, well, you can say what you want to do. You've been helping your family this whole time, or you've been doing things on your own, but to keep it as a united front, which is very important.
We're here with Barry and Sheba Daniel, and we love the conversation that we're actually having with them. And we're just going to ask you just a couple of more questions before we wrap it up. But I am loving the transparency and truth that they're actually bringing to this podcast. Here's the question I actually have for you all. Sheba, you had talked about you guys have future plans. Do you feel like I have a future? I have hope. What does that look like for you all now? What are your future plans, or what are you guys looking to accomplish in your marriage now that you are married?
Just continue to, first, I think, just talk to one another and make sure each other's okay. And from that, I'm a hard worker.
You are.
We both are givers. So we both, and she works just as hard as I do. So in saying that, I just hope that we're going to continue to build our wealth. We'll continue to be financially secure, and we're always going to be in a position to help and serve and give to somebody. That's our future. I've been in situations where I done had a little and I done had a lot. So I understand what it is to really be content, and I believe being broke is a curse. We're not going to be broke. God's going to provide because we're givers first.
Come on.
So our future is just going to be happy, love, basic, simple. We're not going to complicate it. But the most important is that we're going to love each other and we're going to live life.
Wow.
So then, anything that we left off the table that you all want to let our listeners know, or let's just do this. Just encourage our listeners, especially some that may be a little older, or maybe in a situation that you guys may have been in, or this is their first marriage that they're considering. How would you all encourage them to take the leap forward?
I would say definitely trust in yourself, believe in yourself, and always make sure whatever you do, you feel that it is the right thing. Not to say, oh, I'm going to get married, but not feel like it's the right thing, but I'm going to do it because this is maybe my chance or my only opportunity to do it. Or to say that, I need to do this for a purpose. Do it from your heart. Do it because this is what you believe in, and do it because if that is real. I feel like if it is not real, it's not going to work. And as it has to be from the heart. It just can't be this thing that I want to see a wedding. I want to be the bride, and I want to have the big shebang. And then after it's over with, then we're right back where we're at, Yeah. So, and I feel like, and also with me, it's never too late.
Oh, I love that.
Never say that this is it, because you never know. Because I basically was just in my zone, and I, felt like this was it. This is where I'm at, but it happened, and it's good.
Yes.
Yeah, it's really good, and it's a good thing. How you hear, like we said, we heard different stories of people that didn't make it, got married, their relationship didn't last, their marriage didn't last. And then we heard from people that's been married and it lasts. And you just like, you know, you got to take it and make it yours. And not what somebody else said and what somebody else done and how it worked for somebody else. You just got to take it and say, this is us and this is what we're doing. And for us, and not where, well, they took their marriage and he did this to her and she did this. You can't take that. You just can't take that with you and just make it out of what you want it to be. And I think that's what made us kind of like make it last. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love when you said "This Is Us." That's one of my favorite TV shows. This is us.
Yeah.
Barry and Sheba. Barry, what about you? Encouraging.
I like how she said, I like how she said that it's not too late. We did this later in life, older, mature. It's never too late. But I just think, for me personally, without God, her and I wouldn't be together right now. We wouldn't have what we would have. We wouldn't know the people that we know. We wouldn't be in the positions that we are right now. So I just believe if you got God in it, it's going to work. And it's going to be good. So, and I just really, really, truly believe if you're a child of God, God said he has plans to prosper us, not harm us. So even when life is going different ways, if you hang on and trust God, you're going to get through it. That's where I'm at with it. So it's the faith that I know that you must have. That's the foundation of life. You have to have that.
Yeah. So our power couples, hey, he just dropped the mic on that one.
Did.
You got to have the faith. You got to trust God. You got a newlywed couple here who said it is not too late, and they did the work. That's what I love about it. You did the work, and you're still going to continue to do the work. They're a team. I mean, there are so many things that they describe here that makes a marriage strong. And so we are so excited about that. You can hear from them on our podcast at powercouplesrock.com. And we don't want you to miss that. And so with that being said, let's get powered up.
Thanks for listening to the Power Couples Rock podcast. We hope that you've been encouraged, inspired, and supported. Please listen and subscribe to our other Power Pods, as we are confident that they will strengthen your marriage. Also, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. It's there where we can extend these discussions together, take these conversations and your marriage to the next level. Enjoy your day and power up.